This is Alex Beaner from Cage Side Press, and this is my interview with ex-NFL player Shawne Merriman, now MMA promoter. And we just talk about how he got into MMA, how long he's been an MMA fan, and then we talk about Lights Out Xtreme Fighting. It's back this weekend, and he talks about the card and all sorts of stuff like that. Of course, I had to ask him who he thinks is going to win the Super Bowl, but enjoy.
So, how are you?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. How excited are you that Lights Out Fighting's coming back?
Man, it's been a long road. I mean, for all of us, like as a country and what we've all been through. But to be shut down since last March, and it was during the weigh-in, which was even worse, right? Because you got all the fighters in, the cage up, the TV trucks are outside, and you're ready to go. Tickets are sold out, and bam, you get smacked blindside. I felt like I had a fight, right? Like I got the big knockout punch, and I felt really bad for the fighters. I'm fortunate enough that I get a chance to train with a lot of these guys during the year, and so I know what they go through. I know how they are getting prepared, and to get shut down, man, was rough. But I'm so damn excited. August 7th at the Commerce Casino, doors open at 6:00 p.m. and it's going to be awesome, man. I can't wait.
Was there ever a thought process to take the promotion out of California due to the pandemic?
Absolutely, no question about it. And it was weighing on me even more because I obviously looking at a lot of the fighters who are still training, right? Because they don't know when the pandemic was going to lift or if it was going to be. I think that we all went into the pandemic thinking it was going to be maybe a couple of months max, right? Not a year. And so to see these guys still training, I'm like, man, we got guys that's ready right now. Let's look at Florida, especially when you saw the promotions, going to Florida and somewhere in the Midwest and having some success. The first thing you want to do is, like, you want to get going. But we thought that it was better for us to sit back and plan and come back, with a big bang, which we are.
Gotcha. I did want to just talk a little bit about why did you decide to start an MMA promotion, and like what was the thought process behind it?
Well, for one, I got into MMA back in 2006. I was told by Jay Glazer, who was a friend of mine at the time, and asked me, said, maybe you should look at getting into MMA. It might help you in football. With your hand-eye coordination, being violent with your hands, your stamina, and things like that. And my first day even training to learn anything with MMA, I walked in and Jay Glaze to the right and Randy Couture's on the left. And that was my very first day and doing anything in MMA. Now, I grew up in Washington, D.C., Maryland, Virginia area where there were I got professional boxers in my family, and there were professional boxers from that area, from Baltimore and Washington, D.C., and Maryland, who were great. So I grew up around it anyway, but I got into MMA, and fortunately, you rewind 16 years later after I started, having Lights Out Xtreme Fighting, and also, with a name like Lights Out, I just knew that it fit well in the sport, and it has.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's an awesome name, and you've put on, four really good events previously,
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, you already answered my next one is, so you've been watching since 2006. You would be considered a hardcore fan in the fight bubble.
Yeah, no question about it. I mean, there's a lot of synergies between playing football and MMA, right? I mean, if you look across the board, there's a lot of connection, not just in the cage and what we did on the field, but also the fan base. People who love football love MMA, and vice versa. And I've always seen that over the past, 15 years. And now that the sport has grown to a national and international level, I think that more people are seeing the excitement that's involved around MMA. I talked to a lot of former athletes from other sports who retired, and I say, man, listen, you got to pick up some form of discipline in combat sports, whether it's mixed martial arts, Muay Thai, boxing, pick it up. Because, as you know, a lot of guys retire and they struggle on what they want to do next. And with Lights Out Xtreme Fighting, we have Chris McCain, who's a former NFL player, but we have 2 more announcements of guys coming over and fighting for us that were either in NFL or NHL, a couple of rugby guys, and I'm enjoying that more because I know how tough it is to move on to the next thing, but also there's a lot of guys who can still go.
Yeah, no, for sure. You kind of alluded to it, but I mean, why do you think former football players go towards MMA, and you don't really see a lot of, baseball players or basketball players, try and fight?
Well, I think if you can take a hit across the middle, you can damn sure take a punch, right? Look, I played with a great fullback in Lorenzo Neal, and the classes that we had, I was like, you know what, I could take some punches too. So there's a lot of similarities because for one, the aggression, right, and also the explosiveness, the takedowns, and even though it's a lot of punching involved and kicking, there's a lot of power coming from your lower body. That's what makes football players explosive. Look at these big tree trunk legs. It's Saquon Barkley. Can you imagine Saquon getting in an MMA cage with that low center of gravity, those big legs? I mean, those kicks. Who's blocking those kicks? No one.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
So you look across the board at just these guys and the body build and them learning how the skill of mixed martial arts. That's why you're going to find a lot of success here coming up over the next couple of years with former, especially NFL players, but rugby guys and also hockey.
Interesting. Well, let's talk about LXF 5. In the main event, you got Eric Gonzalez and Samuel Alvarez. What are your thoughts on that fight?
I was excited when we announced that they were going to be in the main event because coming out the gate, you want to come out with a bang. Right now, you got 2 fighters on the card that has a presence not only in MMA but has a presence locally. We're sold out. We're still weeks away from the fight. Actually, I take that back. I just checked. We got 60 tickets left, which should be gone by the end of today, right? And then that's only because you put together main cards like that, and it's going to be an explosive fight. These guys are going to go out there. It's a lot. Got a chance to talk to them. They're going to go out there swinging, man. It's going to be explosive.
Awesome. Do you have any other secret bangers on the fight card that fans should be looking forward to?
No. Just overall, we got we're going to make an announcement at some point in time, and people will be able to watch us all over the country. That part, I can't wait. Me, myself, growing up in the D.C., Maryland, Virginia area, I always said I wanted my friends, family, my high school coaches, boys and girls club coaches, people I grew up around in the neighborhood to be able to watch our fights because I do think the MMA is going to get even bigger than it is now in this country.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm definitely with you on that. And then, why should people buy this card and why should people go to this card?
For one, people should go there because our fights are bar none. I mean, you come in there, the energy, and we have the best fans. And these guys, they come in, they're rowdy, they're loud as hell. You feel like you're sitting in the crowd of 10,000 people, and there's only 1,500. And we come in, pack the house, we put on a show, and it's really about the fans. If you come to our fight, the fan experience and what we offer is top notch. So I can't wait to see everybody there at the Commerce Casino August 7th. And definitely go to our website, lightsoutxf.com, to get tickets. And even for LXF 5 and 6, that's going to be coming up here soon.
Awesome. That's awesome to hear. Finally, I just wanted to kind of end on a couple of little things. Have you been watching much UFC this year so far?
I have, yeah.
What did you think of I guess we'll just, Conor McGregor? What did you think of his injury and, his status in the sport?
Well, first and foremost, I thought that Conor looked good. I thought he looked lean. I thought he looked strong. He was moving well. Even at times when he was on his back, I thought that he was still causing damage to Poirier, even though, Dustin looked really good himself. That fight, I mean, I'm more interested in what would have happened if they got to the second round. I was really interested because I think the second round would have shown what the fight, the hype about the fight. I think first There was a lot of standing up. Dustin looked really good, looked strong. And I didn't expect for Conor to also. I mean, he was causing a problem with the kicks on his back, and he almost had Dustin in a guillotine, I think, at one point. So that fight was due to be an incredible one if Conor didn't have that unfortunate injury to his leg.
And I guess do you have a fight off the top of your head that happened this year that that you really enjoyed?
I'm a big fan of Adesanya, Israel. I'm a really big fan with him because it's like a combination of, he has, obviously he can strike and things like that, but he's so technical. He's so pinpointed accurate. And he's great for the sport. I'm a personality guy. That's how I had the nickname Lights Out. I love personalities, but I also respect the fact that, when it comes time to respect your opponent, the last fight that he did lose because he moved up in weight class. He was very respectful about it. It wasn't like he went out and had an excuse or anything like that. He's very respectful to the sport, and I think that that's cool. But also at the same time, he has no problem letting you know when he's the best.
Yeah, no, for sure. And then two last things. What's the percentage that we ever see Shawne Merriman take like an amateur fight or something like that, man?
One thing I would say, you don't play fighting, right? I mean, it's one of those things. You can go out and play a pickup game basketball. Hell, I can go out there and I can give you 10 plays in an NFL game, right? I mean, I can. But when you go out there and you're fighting people who are trained assassins, in my opinion, you better be ready. And so it's one thing for me to go out and you can ask any guys I sparred against or with or been in the gym, I can get after it. But on the level that these guys are doing it, it's a whole different level. And that's why I don't go and call people out. If there are somebody that wants to come and fight me in Lights Out and it makes sense, I'm 100% open to that. But as far as anything else, man, I really enjoy promoting these fighters. I enjoy promoting the league and growing the business. But at any given day, if the situation is right, absolutely.
Awesome. Well, seeing Shawne Merriman, the original Lights Out, that would be a true spectacle.
Yeah, no. Look, I love the sport. I love to get in there and bang a little bit. It's the crazy side of me that keeps me balanced. I tried the meditation apps. They don't work for me. So I 3 5-minute rounds of sparring, that works for me.
Of course. And then finally, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about the NFL. Who do you think is going to the Super Bowl this year? And if you don't really have a prediction, what teams kind of catch your eye?
Well, first and foremost, you always got to go with the champs, right? Especially that they didn't have a lot of changes during the offseason. They brought back their core guys. So you got to put them ahead of the curve to have another opportunity to run it again. The second part of it is, and I don't want to be biased, but my Chargers, man, I love the coach they brought in, Brandon Staley. I think that Justin Herbert having a 4-year under his belt, them beefing up the offensive line, drafting guys. I went around the building. The energy is much different. If they can win that conference or get in the playoffs, they'll be a dangerous team. You can never go against Patrick Mahomes. I mean, he's the best quarterback in the NFL in my opinion. Him and Aaron Rodgers. So you can never go against him. But if the Chargers can get in the playoffs and stay healthy, they might have an opportunity.
Awesome. Well, thank you for your time, Shawne. It was a true honor to talk to you. I've been, I've watched you my entire life. So thank you for the time.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right.
Okay. Bye-bye.